Are you mentally healthy?
Oh man, that's actually dude, that's a hard question because I am some ways and
Mhm.
I'm not in others. I think
Okay.
overall I have really good friends
Yeah.
and there's a lot of things in my life that are like worth being thankful for. I have my health and things like that. But there's also I'm just really busy and well there's okay, we'll dissect these things one by one, all right? There's a lot of
Okay.
things in my life. People think I'm like this paragon of like how you should live your life. They're like, look no further than Eric Van Wilderman in the GD community. I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm a normal. I got my own issues. Like on the outside, I look like I got it all together. Got a family and
Yeah.
stuff, and making a living off this. But on the inside, like there's definitely like some turmoil going on here, right? I don't have it all together, although it is as is social media. It's definitely presented that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's dissect these things. So, last year, my son got diagnosed with LCPD. It's called Perthes disease,
Yeah.
and it's basically like the hip joint in the hip joint bone, the little ball that connects your like femur
Yeah.
head to your pelvis. It just like broke down, and now it's like slowly starting to regrow. And the process takes a long time. This disease can be like 2 or 3 years, and you're supposed to keep them like people that have it off their feet, and you got to do physical therapy for them every day. Like I spend like 30 minutes to an hour on it every day. And yeah, he's a kid. He should be running around, but I got to like really emphasize keeping him off his feet. Well, what does he do? What are things he can do off his feet? He can read some books, draw pictures, but he's got the gaming gene in him. He loves games, so now I gotta make sure that he doesn't game too much. But Dad, I can't move anyway, so it's like, how do I justify? Like, yeah, I know I want to run outside with you, but we can't. Well, then let me just play this game. And I'm like, ooh. So, anyways, it's a very busy time as a parent for me because he should be in kindergarten, but we had to take him out, and so like he's
Yeah.
just home all day, and so that part has been hard, right? That's a mentally challenging thing to deal with. We've gotten to a bit of a rhythm with it, and that's nice. So that's one thing we're dealing with, and that was on top of already the other part, which is just in general like YouTube as a living. Just dealing with like the ups and downs of YouTube
Oh
can be
yeah.
mentally challenging. I still need to sort of like I feel like I have it under control some months, and then some months I feel like I don't. Like when it's good, I'm like, oh, I'm chill. I'm not checking my analytics all the time. But when it's not chill, when you're in those dips, I'm like on the phone all the time. Like, okay, what are other people doing in Geometrash? Like, what are some things? What are some things I need to do better? Do I need to get this new editor? Do I need to do better thumbnails? And I just like can't relax because my setup, my studio is at home, and then I'm sitting at home right next to my computer where I'm like, well, I could always be doing more here. There's other things I could be doing. There's people I could be talking to. There's collabs I could get in the works. Like, what are you doing relaxing? It's like, no, but you did a lot of work already. You should relax. And it's some days I'm really good at compartmentalizing everything, and then some days I'm really awful at it, and it really gets to me, and like I feel sort of overwhelmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that can make me mentally not feel good in some ways as well. And man, is there anything else? I mean, those two are pretty big ones.
Yeah. I can relate to the YouTube part. I think January, it's unanimous. January months, oh my god. Like
Yeah,
especially
they're bad.
with like revenue, it's so crazy how fun December is and how unfun January is just because of the revenue dip. And then also like I don't know if this is very right, but I've heard from some people that January could also have view dips as well. I've
I've
never
noticed that. I've had January dips, but I mean dips for me, the whole like view dip thing, it's not necessarily like a month specific. So I kind of disagree with that. I think just in general on YouTube, like this might be tinfoil hatty and like crazy as I'm trying to dissect like 12 years of YouTube, but the way I feel it works is there's like these algorithm purges where like the algorithm's like, okay, all this old content that's been doing really well, okay, we want to stop recommending it, and we want to get like new old content that's recommended in its place. Like like for example, one of my oldest videos that did well for the time, this is just such a popular thing like 5 years ago, was the the world's hardest jump, right? That you
Yes.
saw like everywhere. So like I made that video and I literally made that video in like 2 hours. It was so like low effort and easy compared to some other vids I've made. And that video was my best performing video of all time. So with that said, that video was just always doing well. And then the last little while, that and some other like older videos from like 5 years ago stopped getting recommended as much. There were a few other ones like you can't tap this fast, and it was just one of my impossible or not videos.
Yeah.
And so they all kind of like went down in the algorithm. And so I needed to get new sort of older like content that people were searching up so that it replaced those ones, right? So obviously there was last year the RVP random vehicle portal thing, which is still massively popular. Still people make videos on it and they do really well. And so, you know, I was one of the first to make a video on that, and like that video did really well as well. But then that sort of starts, and then in September there was a big algorithm slump. Like I feel like there was another cleansing where you saw a lot of YouTubers making videos like 8-Bit Ryan and other content creators talking about, oh, is this it? YouTube's changed the algorithm. Something's happened. I feel like there's just every now and then a cleansing of old videos like that, where at that time, a lot of people get down on themselves and they go, well, what am I going to do? The algorithm's down. This is the end. Oh, no. So during those times, you have to work the hardest because it's really easy to coast when the things are going really well. But when things are down, you need to be the one that like separates you from the other people. And then once the algorithm starts to like pick up again and you get some videos like wedged in there, then you're going to be like way better off than the people who just sort of gave up and like said, well, we'll just try again when the algorithm's a little bit better later, because then they'll be by the wayside, right? And it'll be much harder for them to catch up.
Yeah.
So that's my tinfoil hat hypothesis. And it's probably way more complicated than that, but that's sort of what I feel happens. And like different waves that I've gone through on my channel. Like in 2023, I went through a massive dip where the algorithm basically stopped recommending a bunch of my videos. And the reason being is it was this weird bug that happened in YouTube system where my the analytics wasn't working for like the past 5 days. And I was like, YouTube, what's going on with this? And then, oh, sorry, there's a bug in the system. And a lot of other channels didn't have that effect, but some channels had it. And I was like, okay. But then when the bug was fixed, all of a sudden my views went completely down. And all the views of those other channels were the same. And I was like, well, obviously, like, I think what happened is YouTube for 5 days thought that I was basically inactive and like my channel didn't exist. And then when I came back, I was like at this lower place in the algorithm. And so I had to work my butt off. And it was before 2.2 had come out. So I was like, okay, Eric, I know maybe you shouldn't do this, but we're going on the Geometry 2.2 server at the time. I forget what it was called, but like before 2.2 came out, there was the server where you could make 2.2 stuff. And I was like, I'll just make some crazy videos about like 2.2. And I know I shouldn't. I felt dirty, but I was like, but yeah, I got to, because YouTube's is screwing me. And then I was able to like pull it back up. And then I started making the other videos like with a lot of success, like can you do the Rob Top levels as only the UFO? And that popped off. So I did like all the game modes, and that helped me get out of the slump too. But like I was in a slump. I was like, okay, time to pull out like some magician shit, you know, like get really sink my teeth into it. And it worked. It was good. It worked out. So that's my advice, by the way, anyone who wants to be a YouTuber, as to like what to do in those situations. Because a lot of people just like roll over and are like, I'm depressed because views are down. But it's like, no. Pull those socks up, boy. Get to work. Like that's when you gotta work harder, right? Yeah, pull through. That's right.
And honestly, I respect that theory. Like, I have noticed it was back in, I think, August when if I remember correctly, it was like something that is supposed to start making smaller channels like get pushed more.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That was part of the reason why YouTubers were complaining and stuff, because like that with oh god, what was it again? Because it was at the end of August and the beginning of September, and it was something to do with like AI filtering of like sensitive content, and then it messed everything up or something.
Yeah, I've seen people get, I think their name is Ender, if I remember correctly. I saw a tweet by Dexerto. They got like falsely like terminated by AI because they had like they had a unknowingly some channel linked to their account. If I don't remember the whole story, but AI basically falsely terminated them for that.
My God. Yeah, that's wild. That's kind of scary. I'm
Yeah.
I'm pretty fortunate where I think like if you get upwards in enough subscribers and view count, like YouTube, like if something happens with your channel, like YouTube will answer really fast. I'm pretty
Yeah.
fortunate, but like if you had like, 10 to however many like 100K subscribers or whatever, YouTube will not answer quickly at all. Like they'll just
Yeah.
trust the AI. But with like channel like mine, I think they'd answer pretty quickly, right? So I'm not too worried because they've been pretty helpful in the past and have answered when I've had questions about things. So that's one thing about YouTube is like the bigger you get, the easier it is.
That is
Um,
true.
yeah, which is kind of unfair, but at the same time, everyone who was big was also like tiny at one point and was struggling, right? So
Yeah. I usually see YouTube as kind of fair game, because usually if you know what you're doing, like you can do research from home, like know how to like upload stuff. Like with Secret Way, we started with shorts. I will say we did get lucky with early shorts, but
hmm,
you can, for everybody watching, biggest advice nowadays for YouTube: start with shorts, get 100K, and then you start switching to long form. You start doing
interesting.
that shift and do something, because you can use that time where you're trying to reach 100K with shorts to kind of learn as well. And that's basically what we did, where we knew what will do well, we knew what wouldn't, and we knew how much effort would go into certain stuff. And with the interviews, that kind of happened kind of by chance.
Mhm.
Vix, the other person that works on Secret Way, was crashing out at me for not uploading shorts enough. And I was on a channel that interviewed us, and shout out to him, but I can't say his name because I did get into drama that everything's already addressed. And they were the ones that I kind of got the interview idea from. So
Okay.
it did happen by chance, but Vix kind of knew, like, oh wait, that's a good idea, so we can upload consistently. We can I was happy with it because I get to talk to you. I mean, I
Yeah.
watched you back in 24. The first video I saw of you, by the way, I wanted to mention this, the one where you put clips on your face every time you
Oh
died.
man,
That was my
that was a
favorite
hard one. That was so that challenge actually like so out of all the challenges I've done, you probably don't remember them all, but like what are the ones that you would think would hurt the most?
Um So obviously I remember the clip one, and I remember the hot sauce one. There was one that you were like licking a lemon or something, if I remember
Oh yeah,
correctly.
sure, like a sour challenge. I've also done
Yeah.
like warheads and bean boozled
Yeah.
and like all that stuff. Yeah.
One of the more painful ones recently, the one you did with Vortrox. Those like sour, like I could just see the citric acid on those sour like candy thingies.
They were rough, yeah. Surprisingly, he hated the beans worse, the bean boozled. So funny. But anyway, so the one that hurt the most was the clip one.
Oh, okay.
That one, like those clips were really tight, and like having them on my face for a long time. Like for like 2 days after, there were marks all over my face.
Oh my.
So I had to go to school, and I was a teacher at the time, so I was teaching with like marks on my face. They're like, what happened to you? I was like, don't ask. Tripped and fell. Not making stupid YouTube videos about playing a game and putting laundry clips on my face. That's for sure.
Yeah, I remember watching, weren't some of them like clipping off as you kept putting more and more on?
Yeah. There was like clips all over my
Oh my
face, and like I couldn't do it, and it hurt so much I couldn't focus. And I think I had to. I forget, but I think I had to take them off to finish the level. But I
Oh
forget.
my.
It was in a lot of pain. That one, and then surprisingly, the ice cube in the shorts challenge.
Oh,
That one
that's
was
the other one
also
I
one of the most
remember.
painful. Yeah, that one was like never do that. That was ridiculously painful. I was like, I can't believe it. I cannot believe I thought that was a good idea because it seemed innocent. I was like, this is just gonna be funny and it's not really gonna hurt. And then as I was doing it, I was like, I was like, oh my god, like it's the worst thing, man. Oh my god.
You're here to hear, guys. Don't do that challenge.
Don't do them at home. Yeah.
Someone should do the clip one though.
Yeah. Yeah, the stupidest one I ever did, which could have ended really badly, was the incense one where I put like an incense burner in my hat and I had it like in front of my
Oh.
face and I lit it. And so like it was burning. I was like, I have like a certain amount of time to beat the level until like it burns up onto my head. And then I did that one, thing it was gonna be great. I think I beat the level and it was like really I could like feel the heat. It was like so close to my forehead.
Oh my god.
Man, I would have committed too. I would have committed. Well, I would have let it like burn me a bit, and then I would have taken it out clearly. But
Yeah.
I would have committed. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
And
Looking back on it, I'm like, geez, I was just looking for like the craziest things. You know,
oh
it was
yeah.
pretty. It was a different time on YouTube. It was wild because like at the time, you know, PewDiePie was like, I think afterwards he put like a shock collar on his neck, and like every time he died in geometry, actually like zapped himself. I was like, man, content like that just it did well. Like these days, when people do challenges, it's more like, it's still painful, but like more sort of normalized pain, like spice and things like
Yeah.
that, right? It's not like physically like burning yourself, right?